Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm bringing you a really exciting project I made last week. It's a Cloisonne Enamel peacock pendant and it's made out of fine silver and copper. I used a lot of riveting to make the base and it's really exciting for me to show it to you. I've learned Cloisonne enameling 20-something years ago in an art school in Europe. Let's get to the project. I had this idea that I could rivet two copper discs together, make a champlavé setting, but not out of silver, this time out of copper. In order to do that, first I had to drill some holes in the copper discs where the rivets should go. I clamped the discs together, so I drilled the holes at the same time. I'm going to cut out the middle of the top sheet, that's where the enamel is going to go. In order to be able to do that, I had to drill a hole in the middle. I thread through the saw blade, so I was able to cut out the middle section. I filed the inside edges with my needle files. I cut out the outline of the peacock shape from the top sheet. I also filed the edges smooth. It was time to make the rivets and I made them out from a thick copper wire. I e-nailed the wire to make it more malleable. I put them in my vise, leaving a very small section of the wire free. Now I grabbed my hammer and I hammered the little section flat. After marking how long the rivets should be, I cut them off of the wire. I riveted the top sheet to the bottom using my hammer and a steel block. I was pretty happy how it turned out and I did the leftover rivets off camera. I grab the Sharpie and I draw the outline of the top shape on the bottom disc because I wanted that to be a little bit bigger. I cut out the shape of the bottom sheet following the outside line of the Sharpie, if it makes sense. It was a lot of work, so I needed a break and I went outside and made my tea. I wanted to use silver foil to make the colors brighter. I made this silver foil previously in my rolling mill and now I just had to hammer it out to give it a nice texture. I also domed the piece to prevent warping. My kiln is not running today. I'm going to switch it on tomorrow morning, so I try to do everything I can without the kiln today. Here you can see me fold the Cloisonne wires and I use fine silver. I'm really excited to combine copper and silver in one project. I'm using pliers and a tweezer to fold these wires to match my design. Until you watch me do this, I would like to let you know that I have a beginner-friendly 3-part course on Patreon. We're making a simple but a beautiful Cloisonne enamel project and you can follow me step by step. By the end of this course, you're going to end up with a beautiful Cloisonne enamel piece for yourself. I'm going to leave the link down in the description. If you're interested, check it out. It's the evening now as I'm editing my video and I wanted to show you guys the coyote's cry, which we hear every single night. Now we have to go and get the cat and take him inside because we don't want the coyotes to eat him overnight. We had cats fall victim to the coyotes before and it was a heartbreak. I finished up the work for today and I had a really nice relaxing rest of the day. I continued the project the next morning with the enamel work. First I sifted the counter enamel on the back and I really wanted the rivets to show, so I grabbed a paintbrush and cleaned off the enamel from the rivets. I fired it off camera and I pickled it to remove the oxides from the other side. I sifted the clear fuse on the front and I really didn't want enamel to be on the edges and on the body of the peacock, so I cleaned the enamel off with a paintbrush. I fired it off camera. Now I put silver foil on the surface. I fired it off camera, and during the firing the foil got stuck in the melted base coat. I covered it with another layer of clear enamel and I fired it. The next step is to put the Cloisonne wires on the surface of the pendant. I'm using glue to secure the wires until the next firing. When every wire were in place, I waited the glue to dry and I fired it in my kiln. I pickled it to remove the oxides which developed during the firing. It was time to choose the colors. It's always so exciting. I've chosen a few blues and a nice pink for the middle of the feathers. I had to wash some of the colors, so I did that. We have to do that because we have to wash out the fines which can disturb the clarity of the final enamel work. When all the colors were nice and clean, I grabbed my little scraper and a paintbrush and started to apply the first layer of enamel. I left some distilled water on the top of the enamels, and that's important because the water helps us to transfer them in between these little cells. I got a question which I thought maybe would be interesting to answer to. The question is, why did I move to the Arizona desert if I grew up in a place where there are frogs? It's such a lovely question, thank you for asking. Long story short, we lived in Europe and my husband is an artist blacksmith and he got a job in New Jersey. We accepted it and we moved with 2 kids and 4 suitcases to the end of the world, it seemed like. He had a job and the company provided us a room to live in until we found our own rental home. It was a very cool and scary experience at the same time. We lived very close to Manhattan and I never forget seeing the skyscrapers at the first time. We moved a couple times after that and we ended up buying a land in Arizona. I hope you enjoyed this little story time, let me know. When I finished filling out the cells with the first layer of colored enamel, I put the piece aside to dry. By this time, Lucky really wanted his evening walk, so we went. When we came back, the enamel was dry, so I fired it in my kiln on 1400 Fahrenheit for 2 minutes. Enamel shrinks in the kiln, so we have to apply more than 1 layer. Until you watch me do this, I would like to let you know that I have an online shop. Please check it out, I would love that. I leave the link in the description. I usually apply 3 layers of colored enamel. I did the 3rd layer off camera. If you guys would like to see more enameling videos, please check out this playlist. After the last layer was fired, I pickled it and I started the last step of the process, and that was the sanding. We sand the surface smooth here and I'm using diamond pads and a lots of water. After the sanding, I fired it again to get the shine back. After the firing, I cleaned up the surface as much as I could and it was done. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's such a cool project. Let me know in the comments what you think. This piece is coming to my online store soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please consider supporting me on Patreon and please like, share and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Bye!